In a small countryside town surrounded by endless fields, lived a boy named Ethan. His clothes were plain, his shoes old, but his dreams were larger than the sky above him. His father had passed away when he was just a child, leaving behind a little piece of land and a promise: work hard, son. Even if the world forgets your name, hard work will never forget you. Every morning, Ethan woke before sunrise. He'd walk to the field with his mother, carrying tools that were almost too heavy for his hands. The ground was dry, the sun cruel, but he kept digging. When others rested, he worked. When others gave up, he whispered to himself, just one more day. People in the village laughed. That boy is wasting his youth, they said. No one grows dreams out of dust. But Ethan never argued. He smiled quietly and replied, dust is where life begins. His best friend, Noah, would often visit. Ethan, you don't have to work every day, he'd say. Come to the river, we'll fish, we'll laugh. But Ethan always shook his head. Not yet. One day, I'll have time to rest, but today, I work. Weeks turned into months. The crops barely grew. The rains didn't come. His mother's hands grew weaker each day. One night, she said gently, son, maybe we should sell the land and move to the city. You've done enough. Ethan looked at her tired face and said softly, no, Mom. We've come this far. The land will remember our effort. That night, as he sat alone under the stars, he looked at the sky and whispered, if the earth is listening, I hope it knows I'm not giving up. The next morning brought dark clouds. At first, Ethan smiled, he thought rain had finally come. But what arrived wasn't rain, it was destruction. The storm howled across the land, tearing through trees, flooding fields, destroying everything he had planted with his bare hands. The wind ripped the roof off their old barn, lightning split the old oak tree in half. By the time it ended, nothing remained but silence and mud. Ethan fell to his knees, clutching the soaked soil. His heart pounded as if it wanted to burst. Why, he cried into the storm's echo. I gave everything I had. Why take it all away? His mother came to him, her clothes drenched, her eyes full of pain. Maybe it's time to go, she said softly. Maybe hard work isn't enough. But Ethan shook his head. His voice trembled, but his eyes were firm. If I leave now, then everything I believed in was a lie. I'll start again. Even if I fail 100 times. So he began again, alone this time. The villagers said he had lost his mind. Children whispered when he walked by, calling him the boy who farms in ashes. Even Noah had stopped visiting, having gone to work in the city. Yet, Ethan woke up each morning, fixed broken tools, and tilled the ruined earth. His hands bled. His back ached. But he refused to stop. The storm can take my crops, he said one night, but it will never take my will. Days turned into months. Slowly, life returned. Tiny green shoots began to rise from the soil, fragile, but alive. When Ethan saw them, he smiled for the first time in months. You see, he whispered to himself. Even the earth believes in second chances. Years later, the once empty field bloomed into life. Rows of golden wheat swayed under the sunlight. Ethan was no longer a boy, he was a young man now, strong, steady, and humble. The villagers who once mocked him now came to him for advice. Children followed him through the fields, watching him work, listening to his words. One day, Noah returned from the city. He looked around, stunned. Ethan, you did all this? Ethan smiled, his hands covered in soil. Not just me. The earth helped too. The two friends sat under the same oak tree that had once been split by lightning, now grown again, strong and full of life. Noah said, you were right, Ethan. Hard work really does pay off. Ethan looked at the horizon and said quietly, it's not just about pay. It's about peace. You rest better when you've earned what you have. As the sun set, golden light bathed the land. Ethan's mother came out of their small house, her smile gentle, her eyes full of pride. "Your father would be proud," she said. Ethan took her hand and whispered, "He always said the earth never forgets the hands that work it." That night, fireflies filled the air. The fields glowed softly under the moon. And somewhere in the quiet wind, the land seemed to whisper back, "Thank you." From that day, the villagers taught their children. The world doesn't reward dreams, it rewards effort. And even when it feels like no one sees your struggle, the universe always does.